everybody, Lee here, and welcome to the pull list for September 25th, 2013, presented by LongboxRadio.com. First up from DC this week, I got Batman Superman 3.1, or Doomsday #1, another book I bought after saying I wasn't going to buy any of these damn Villain Month issues. Kind of a cool cover there. I've been enjoying Batman Superman. I doubt this will have anything to do directly with the plot as it is, but all the same, pretty cool. 23.3 of Justice League, I got a regular cover, so I kept that alive with Justice League 23.4, which is Secret Society, the only book I bought all of them for. In retrospect, I should have just done that with Batman, which is probably the book I'm enjoying most at DC, but the heart wants what it wants. So there we go, Secret Society #1, Justice League from DC Comics. Going over to Image, we have Saga #14, I believe, yes, from Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples, of course. You've heard me gush about this book before. Just beautiful cover there. I'm enjoying the book all the same. Going over to Marvel, we have Avengers #20, and this is, of course, tying into Infinity. The bonus code for this will be at the end of the episode, so look for that. An amazing event. We're going to talk a little bit about the podcast this weekend, and I'll talk a little more about the podcast this weekend in a second. Guardians of the Galaxy, this is #6 from Bendis, of course. Feels like a little while since we've had an issue of this. The free code is on the screen right now, so you can check that out. It's been a super cool book. We have Angelina? I can't remember her name. This is the third time I've blanked on her name during a friggin' pull list. But all the same, cool stuff. Guardians of the Galaxy. While it doesn't have an Infinity banner, I think it ties in somehow with that event. Would make sense. Moving over to another book from Bendis this week, we have Ultimate Spider-Man #27. Miles Morales is back in his groove as Spider-Man. We're going to see what happens here, and they have an ongoing, of course, Cloak and Dagger story. I'm a big fan of Cloak and Dagger. I like what they've done with them in the Ultimate Universe, so the code for that will be at the end of the episode as well. So that's what I got for this week. Lots of reading to be had. Me and Rob are going to do a podcast this Sunday. As of right now, Mike will not be attending, but we're going to talk about everything that's been going on, including Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which premiered last night. I have not watched the entire episode. I only watched what I could of it on my break today at work, which is about 28 minutes worth. And I dug it. I have historically not liked S.H.I.E.L.D. or Agent Coulson. Anytime they show up in the comic books, I'm not a huge fan of their goings-on. Like I said, I haven't liked Coulson. Maria Hill, I think, is very miscast and uninteresting and stuff like that. So after I'm done dissing it right now, let's go on to, I actually enjoyed the show. I thought it was okay for what it was worth. I didn't know really what to expect. They're not using any of the main characters from the movies and stuff like that. But Whedon came through. I think it will end up being a really, really neat series. They have so many options they can do with that thing now. I mean, if they want to tie it into the movies, bring up, when Avengers 2 comes out, if the show is still going, and it most likely will be, all the cool tie-ins they can do to get people hyped. It's a 30-minute trailer every week for their movies coming up. So I think that's a really neat idea. I'm excited for Arrow to kick up again too. We're gonna have Flash involved in that too, and I'm of course interested to hear what Rob has to say, who hates everything. Even Arrow, though he watches it religiously as I do. So we'll talk a little bit more about it on the podcast. We'll have a bunch of comic books news. We haven't done one since the end of July. It's September 25th, so we'll have tons of comic book stuff to talk about. I got some books and stuff I definitely want to talk about, as well as some DC Comics stuff. Scribblenauts Unmasked came out yesterday. DC Comics fan or Scribblenauts fans, check it out. It's only on the Wii U and 3DS, but I really, really enjoyed what I played of it yesterday. It's very true in its own little way to the characters, and it's very subtle in its parody of the DC Universe. So I really dug that. So there's a lot to talk about on the podcast, which will happen this Sunday. Expect it sometime either Sunday or Monday the coming week. But that is the pull list for this week. Anything free that wasn't Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be at the end of the episode. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the podcast.